Hello, I'm Allison, and this is my very first video. I wanted to start a YouTube page because one of my sister-in-laws, who's living outside of the country right now, always says that she wants to learn how to cook, and she wants to learn how to cook healthy. Hi, Sestera. And so when she's home for a 2-week visit, there's never time to cook together, so I figured I would record videos while I'm cooking, and then she can see, and my other sister-in-law as well is always asking for my recipes. And I also work in the natural healthcare field, and part of my job is helping our practice members with nutrition and finding healthy recipes and finding how to eat healthy when you're busy and life is crazy and you have a budget. Like, those are all things that I take into consideration. I don't have time to sit and cook all day. I don't have an endless supply of money to buy healthy with. So there's certain things I pick and choose to buy healthy and organic. Meat is a big one. You want to make sure you have meat that is organic and grass-fed and natural fed. A lot of the vegetarian fed animals, they're fed soy product and corn, which is not great. Soy is very high in estrogen, and a lot of people, including myself, have hormone issues and hormone problems. And I actually found out that I have an autoimmune disorder, so I have to change the way I eat. I have to eat even better than I had been. I've always tried to stay away from gluten and grains and sugar, but now I really need to for my health. So yeah, meat is a big one. You don't have to buy all your fruits and vegetables organic. There's a certain list. The Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen is what I look up every year. They put out a new one, and you can read what's important to buy organic. Like cabbage, believe it or not, you don't have to buy organic cabbage, so that's great because you can save a lot of money. Cauliflower, you don't have to buy organic. You can save a lot of money buying regular. And how they base that is they do tests on how many pesticides the plants pick up and have within them. So like spinach is one that I always buy organic. Bell peppers is one that like 95% of the time I buy organic. Just because conventional grown is higher in pesticides. Cherries is one that you always want to buy organic, I think. I have not looked up the 2018 list yet, but anyways, that's a little bit what my channel is going to be about. If you want to learn about natural health, how to cook for a family on a short amount of time, that kind of stuff, natural things, then subscribe to my channel. If you want to see videos on anything, comment and let me know, and I will try to do that. But right now I'm just going to start off doing what I do typically and put that on there for everyone to see. So we're going camping this weekend, which we're really excited about because we love to go camping and we haven't gotten to very much this summer, and the summer's almost gone. But one of the things I try to do is pack healthy snacks and healthy food while we're camping, so we don't eat a bunch of junk food, because junk food is easy and convenient and fast and it doesn't spoil. So a little different, we have a fifth wheel camper, so we do have a refrigerator, which makes it a little easier. I know if you're camping with coolers or if you're doing tent camping, it's a little more difficult to keep good food cold and keep it from spoiling. So I was just making some grainless granola. Doesn't take any refrigeration, anything like that. So I added, it's hard to see, you can't see my messy counter the way I have my camera set up, which is cool, but it is very messy right now. Try to move it. You can kind of see, but anyway, so I added about a cup of almonds. What I do is I Google like gluten-free, sugar-free recipes, and I found a really good grainless granola recipe, but I can't find it anymore, so I'm just kind of gonna wing it, and I looked up a different one and I'm just basing it off that. So I got about a cup of slivered almonds, about 3 cups of unsweetened coconut flakes. I like the big ones, but I also have the shredded coconut because I couldn't find any more big ones. Trader Joe's have them. I love shopping at Trader Joe's. They have a lot of really good products, but you want to get the unsweetened because otherwise they add sugar, and coconut has natural sugar anyways, so want to keep it a little bit low. What else did I add? I added raw sunflower seeds, about a 1/3 cup. I added pepitas, which is the inside of pumpkin seeds, about a cup of that. I added about a cup of chopped walnuts, about a cup of chopped pecans, and then, I don't know, a little under a cup of chopped hazelnuts, just stuff that I had on hand. You can really add whatever you like, whatever you have. So this is loaded with good, healthy fats, which is good. It's going to keep you full for a long time, and if you eat good, healthy fat, that signals your body to burn fat. So that myth of you want to eat low fat is wrong. Obviously, with the keto and the paleo diets, everybody is kind of learning that you want to eat good fat, like nuts and seeds and avocados and good olive oils, stuff like that. So I got all my main things in here. I also had dried apricots on hand and dried pineapple on hand, so I just chopped that up, and I'm gonna put that in. Sometimes people add the dried fruit after you bake, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add it in because I like how it gets kind of hard in there. And also I got some organic raisins. I'm just gonna throw a handful in. Now, dried fruit is higher in sugar content, so you know, if you're trying to keep your sugar low, just don't add as much, or like pick dried blueberries or strawberries. Those are very low in sugar, so that would be a better option, but I just use what I have on hand. So so yeah, I got all of this in here. So now I'm just gonna mix up my wet ingredients. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and then I'll explain. Okay, so I'm going to separate the egg whites from the yolks. So you just tap the side and open it, and then you just kind of let the egg white fall out like that, and then you just move the yolk to the other side and let it drain a little bit. And then I save the egg yolks. Egg yolks are good if you want to make your own mayonnaise. They're also good if you want to make some homemade ice cream with. I think that's basically all I use them for. Or if you want to make your own homemade custard, you can do that too. So here's the other one. Like so. So then you want to whip it up till it's frothy. And I was going to use this, and then I remembered that I have this immersion blender, which is one of my favorite kitchen tools. It's very useful if you're making gravy. You don't have to whisk, and because whenever I'm making gravy it gets too chunky. So if you use this, it works really well. I like it, so I'm just going to stick it in here and use it. And you just whip it till it gets frothy. Whip it good. And then, oh, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. It's gone. So yeah, then I have maple syrup, probably half a cup, a little bit of water, and then you just add that together. Looks great. Still still trying to think of what I was gonna say. So then I'll take the hand whisker and just whisk it together a little bit. I'll have a better setup next time. I'm gonna get an actual camera holder, so you can actually see better what I'm doing. So now I got some almond butter, unsweetened, plain almond butter, and I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons in it. I don't think I've added almond butter to my granola before, but the recipe I looked up had it in. So just gonna whip it good again. Oh, and a little bit of salt. I like things a tiny bit salty, so I've got this pink Himalayan salt, which is really great for us. It's got a lot of minerals. It's really, really great for us. So it's easier if you get the fine salt. I like to grind it up most of the time, but it's easier if you get the fine grain. So yeah, I think this is it. So now I'm just gonna pour it over. See, you can't see what I'm doing. Pour it over, and then I'm just gonna mix it up. I'm back. So I'm just kind of mixing it up and tossing it, folding it. Like I said, next time I'll have a better view for you. So just autofocus. There we go. Just tossing it together, mixing it, coating everything up. So yeah, now that everything is coated, I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of chia seeds. I can't tell you the amount, just eyeball it. That's what I like about cooking, is you can pretty much, do whatever you want and it'll turn out good or okay. Little handful of those, raw sesame seeds, a sprinkle of poppy seeds, some black sesame seeds. So these are all really good in omega fats. Sorry about the camera focus. So yeah, these are all really good fats and omegas, which are good for your brain. It's good to keep you full longer. Our brain is mostly made of fat, so you want to make sure you feed your brain so it can function better. I'm all about that brain and nervous system function because it controls everything in your body, so you got to take care of it. Alright, so that's everything. I'm going to grab a jelly roll sheet, clean this space up a little bit, and spread it out on top of parchment paper. So, alright, so here it is, all spread out, and I'm going to bake it at 300 for about 30 minutes. Take it out and test it when it's done to see how it is, if it's crunchy and crispy enough for me. So while the granola is cooking, I just wanted to let you guys know there we go, the food list that I planned. So for breakfast I got some gluten-free English muffins just because they're easy. I'm gonna bring a little bit of organic jam with some organic butter. I'm making my granola, so, and then I got some organic unsweetened yogurt, so we'll just put that on top, and I got some blueberries to put on top. We have chickens, so we have a lot of eggs. So we'll bring eggs and bacon and breakfast sausage, which I know is harder if you don't have access to a fridge. I signed up for ButcherBox, which I think is a really good deal. You get organic grass-fed meats delivered right to your door. You get to pick what you want every month. So I like that. So we've got, you know, more natural bacon with no nitrates and all that stuff. It's just harmful, so to have it without is good. I'm also going to make some blueberry muffins, gluten-free. Gosh, the acorns are just falling like crazy off our trees. So I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll do it in this video too. I might as well. So for lunches, we got some more natural hot dogs, with, you know, again, without nitrates and whatnot. We'll make BLTs. I got gluten-free bread. Actually, Walmart has that, so I got it there. It's still not great ingredients, but it's a better option when you're camping. And for dinners, baked potato and sweet potatoes. I figured that would be quick and easy. Again, not a super great option because potatoes are very high in starch, but it's better than alternatives. And then I was gonna make some deviled eggs. We'll see if I have time to do that. And then just for snacks, I got watermelon, but again, that's high in sugars. I'm gonna make my own trail mix, just throw some nuts and raisins together, maybe some cranberries, maybe some dark chocolate chips. I'll bring some apples with, organic apples. You want to buy apples organic, I always do. I'm gonna try to make almond flour crackers, which we'll see. And then the banana muffins that I'm making for breakfasts can be also used as snacks. So that's basically what we're bringing food-wise. I do really like the Zevia soda. It's made with xylitol instead of sugar, and it's got, you know, less ingredients and more natural ingredients. So I don't mind giving my daughter that, and I enjoy drinking that myself. And then water. What I do for water is I just fill up these jugs. I know plastic, not super great, but I'm just gonna make sure that they stay out of the sun. But yeah, I just fill it up with our filtered water and bring that with. Actually, I stick it in the freezer the night before we leave. You can see all my vitamins. I'll talk about those in another video if anybody's interested. But yeah, I fill up the water jugs and I freeze them the night before, so when you take them, they stay cold and then they just slowly melt. And they help if you pack a cooler with. It keeps your cooler cold, and then you can actually use it when it's melted. So yeah, I think that's basically about the camping meals. I do make my own bug repellent. Doesn't work the greatest. I haven't found a recipe that I'm like, whoa, this works. I love it. I don't know. We're gonna probably spray our clothes with some bug repellent, and so it doesn't go on our skin, but still, I don't know, you might still breathe that in. But anyways, and then natural sunscreen. I get my sunscreen mostly from 100percentpure.com, which I love that company. They're based in California. It's cruelty free. It's all natural or organic ingredients, and they're great. Usually if you order a certain amount, you get free shipping. They always send you free samples. I really love that company. That's where I order most of my beauty products from, which I can do a video on that too if anyone's interested in that. So yeah, maybe I will get the muffins started. I will after I take the granola out. So okay, so I'm gonna get started on the muffins. Got about 13 minutes left for the granola. So the recipe I found that I'm gonna follow, I changed the position last time, says you get to blend it, which is really nice because that's less work, I think, if you just pop it in a blender. So 3 large eggs. Right, in there. And this recipe I'm using is actually from mommypotamus.com. I really like her website and her recipes. She's a little more natural minded, so you should check her out. So 3 eggs, about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or butter, which I'm just slowly melting on the stove top, just very gently and low. 2 tablespoons coconut milk. I like to get this unsweetened, dairy-free coconut milk. There are a few ingredients in it that I'm not so sure of, but it's a better option. And again, and I'm eyeballing. I'm so bad at baking. That's probably why my baked goods don't turn out very well. My husband's the baker in the family. I just wanted to encourage you guys that there's so much to learn about natural eating. There's so many things to learn about ingredients. Don't be overwhelmed. Just start small, start where you're at, and pick what's important to you and your family and work from there. You don't have to do what everybody else does. That's the beauty of America. We can do whatever we want and live however we want and do what's important to us. So I just encourage you, whatever's important to you and your family, roll with that, do that. Don't worry about anything else. Don't get overwhelmed, because then you're just gonna put a kibosh on everything. Just start small. And that's how it's gonna stick with you. I've been on my natural eating journey, if you want to call it, for 9 years. So, and I'm not perfect. I'm still learning new things and getting there. So I just wanted to say that to encourage some of you who maybe are overwhelmed, because it is overwhelming. Honestly, it is. But you just pick what's important to you and go from there, and pick one thing and change it. And then a couple weeks later, pick another thing and change it. So. Anyways, so I got the milk, 2 tablespoons honey. Where's my honey? And it's important to get raw, local honey, just because when they heat it, they kill a lot of the good things in it. And I don't know what the things are, but I know they're good. And plus, when you eat local honey, it's better because you get the plants. And you're not as bothered by the pollinating, so it's good for people with allergies to eat local honey, because you get pollen from the local plants in small amounts, and you can kind of build up your immunity to that. I should just measure. It would make my life a whole lot easier, but that's not how I roll. So I think that's about 2 tablespoons. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. And you know what? It might be fun for you guys to watch me cook, because that's how I screw up all the time, and I make mistakes, and I forget to add things, and I add the wrong things. But that's my life, and it just works. You just make it work. So 2 ripe bananas. But I'm here to tell you that no matter how bad you are at cooking, you can learn, and you can get better, and you can do a good job, because that's what I do every day. So I'm putting these bananas in, and bananas are another thing that you don't need to buy organic, so you can save a lot of money by buying regular conventional bananas. But another thing with bananas, if you are trying to lose weight, they are higher in sugar. Bananas are kind of a controversial health food because there are a lot of good benefits of it, and there are some other not so great things. But when I'm camping, I'm willing to cut corners a little bit. It just makes life easier, but not so much. You know, you can still eat healthy while you're camping. So I'm gonna get a half a teaspoon. Actually, I grabbed a teaspoon one, so I'm gonna do a little more than a half because I enjoy cinnamon. Cinnamon is, sorry about the autofocus. I don't know what I'm doing. Just work with me here. There we go. Cinnamon is another thing that you need to be careful where you buy it. Again, don't be overwhelmed. Cinnamon is good for you. It actually does help lower your blood sugar, so it's good for diabetics and everybody else. So I get Trader Joe's cinnamon because I read an article years ago on cinnamon. There are different kinds, and there are different kinds that are better for you. So if you're interested in that, look it up. If not, don't worry about it. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. See, I'm not a huge fan of nutmeg, but I'll use a little bit of it. 1/4 teaspoon salt. So again, this is where the or the finely grated salt would come in handy. So I just grind it, and then I just use my little measure scooper and obviously eyeball because I have a problem with measuring things. 1/4 teaspoon vanilla. This isn't great vanilla. I'm out, and I wanted to try to make my own vanilla. I got some vanilla beans when I was traveling, and normally they're expensive, so I don't buy them, but I found them traveling for less expensive price. And I got them, and you just mix it, put the beans with rum, and you let it sit for an amount of time. But I need to go get some rum to do that. So in the meantime, I'm just using regular vanilla. It's actually not that bad. It's vanilla and alcohol. I don't know. I would make it with the same thing, so it's alright, I guess. 1/2 cup of coconut flour it calls for. However, I don't have coconut flour on hand. Oh, I'm going to add the oil while I'm thinking of it, so I don't forget. So this is how I cook. Oh, I don't have that. I'm going to use this instead. So that might also be another reason why my baked goods don't turn out that great. But I'm going to use a mixture of almond flour and this gluten-free flour blend that I got on Amazon. So like so. Hi, Dewey. My little puppy's next to me. He's being a good boy. You're being a good boy. And then 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, which, all right, here's 1/2. And baking powder is another thing that you want to get aluminum free. Aluminum is very toxic to us. It's in tons of antiperspirants, so, and it's been linked to a lot of bad things. So I try to stay away from aluminum and metal in general in putting in my body. So aluminum free baking powder. It is a little more expensive, but it's worth it. And then it calls for 1 cup of walnuts. I'm going to blend this first, and then I'm going to mix the walnuts in, and then I'll put it in my muffin tins. So I will do that. Okay, so I mixed it up in my blender, and if you don't have a blender, you can just mix by hand. It would be totally fine. Mix it up in here, and then I poured in just a few walnut pieces and some dark chocolate Ghirardelli chocolate chips, just because, to make it a little more fun. I wonder if I can show you. Oh, there's our granola. Should we take a peek? It still feels a little soft, so I'm gonna leave it in there a little longer. I only set 25 minutes. Whoa, hey. So yeah, I found these silicone lined muffin tips, muffin liners. I tried researching about silicone and if it leaches when it's heated, and my results were, I don't know. So, but they make my life easier, and I can deal with it. I don't make muffins that often, so that's where I'm at with that. The paper ones are fine too, but I find when I make gluten-free or more natural muffins, I wonder, you can't even see what I'm doing here. I don't know how to flip it to the other view when I'm recording a video, so I just got a new phone, so that's something I will try to figure out. But yeah, when I used paper, I found that with the more natural muffins, they would stick. The paper would stick when you peeled it. Uh-oh, all my chocolate chips went to the bottom. Maybe I will try to split some of these chocolate chips into the other ones. Otherwise, somebody's going to be lucky and get all the chocolate. That's not fair. So, I just raised the temperature on the granola to 400 degrees. I think it needs a little higher to crisp up more, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll get the muffins in, bake them at 400 for about 20 minutes. And I don't know, I gotta get ready for work, so I'm gonna go change, and then I'll pop the muffins in. So that's basically it. All I have for camping RV type tips right now, and recipes. So if I do get a chance to make the other things that are on my list to make, I will do another video of that. So if you liked this video, great. Sorry if it was, I know it's kind of long, but let me know if you liked it, and let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Thanks for watching.